Good afternoon. So as we focus on violent crime, the fact that it appears so many people are able to get away with so much crime, whether it's corruption or violence or the tavern shootings that we saw this weekend, we obviously have a crime problem and a policing problem. There's some evidence now of the problems that we have in the police, the fact they simply cannot do what they have to do. But why are there so many problems, particularly when, as I understand it, there are probably more police officers now than we've ever had, or close to it. There are lots of different views on this. Mpho Kwinika is the General Secretary of the Independent Policing Union of South Africa, IPUSA. Mpho, good afternoon to you. Are we using the police officers, the capacity that we have available properly? Are the right people in the right place?
Good afternoon, Steve. You will recall that we are the critics of poor leadership, and when that emerges, we always speak about. I think the South African police service issues comes from very far, but it is important to note that the Klassen inquiry on the fitness of the then National Commission of Police, Pierre, when it ended, the minister introduced what we call the back to basic policing. And there are key issues that are very important, Steve, that I need to share with you this afternoon. Is the issue of visibility. Is the issue of thorough investigation of every crime. Is the issue of efficient utilization of resources to investigate crime. The issues of crime intelligence to support policing. The issues of targeted and informed deployment of resources. Collaborative and consultative policing. I think this refers to community policing forum. These are the main functions of the South African Police Service. The national commissioners we had previously had really made an attempt to try and want to address these issues. But, come 2017, we have seen the collapse of all these things, as the then National Commissioner of Police had to wage a war against people for survival. The president decides to remove him in March this year and replaced him with General Masemula. General Masemula is not coming in, ordinarily or normally. He is coming here to replace a National Commissioner of Police who was left with 9 months to complete his 5-year contract. That tells you that the president have listened to South Africans when they were calling for a police service that is capable of taking care of their needs, the right to protect for their lives and their properties, because the police had lost it completely. It's a huge job for General Masemula, but he has to do this job.
What's driving this? Is it bad people? Is it bad structure? And I mean, it could be a combination of both of those things. And Mpho, you and I don't need to talk about the long history of some of the, bad people. I think I can call Richard Mdluli one of them that we've seen in the police. But is it a structural problem that we keep having the same problem, or have we just had a few bad individuals, in your view?
Look, it is both issues. I think issues are structural and there are leadership issues as well. If you look at the massacre that took place, if our police officers were deployed to do operational issues, I think some of the proactive policing issues is to deter crime from taking place. We strongly believe that those who had been planning to attack those taverns, when they see police visibility, they will not have continued and do what they did. But the police as well have got a problem. The problem is about leadership. Coming in of General Masemula, it does not mean that the problems which we had are going to be resolved here and there. The South African Police Service is a Titanic. It's a very big ship. For you to avoid to hit an iceberg, you need to turn the steering now. What South Africans and ourselves wanted to see from General Masemula is to start showing the signs that he is busy turning the ship towards safety. But he won't do this without the support of many, as he is inheriting a structure that owes an allegiance to the then National Commissioner of the Police. Now, look at what happened last weekend. When a member at a level of a Deputy National Commissioner of Police is disciplined, that person goes public, writes to the president of the country and say, I am being targeted, creating, a perception that there is no relationship between her and the current National Commissioner of Police. That shows that there is an irretrievable, broken down relationship between the police, between National Commissioner and General Vuma. So there are issues which the National Commissioner of Police must do, and he must do it very, very urgently. It's the reorganizing of the South African Police Service. He needs to get the right people in right positions. He needs to get sufficient resources, both human and material resources, to stations which currently are running below the resource allocated guide, which is the policy of the South African Police Service. And as that happened, it will be able to give South Africans some assurance that something is being done while he has to attend to some other issues which are there, but they don't need that urgent attention as opposed to what I have just alluded to.
The other thing is infighting, right? And we see this all the time. And it may be related to politics, may be related to other things. It's a big organization. I think it's the biggest employer in the country, the SA Police Service. How big a problem is the infighting? I mean, if we stop that, would that have a good consequence?
Look, there is no doubt that there are senior officers in the police who are accused of corruption and maladministration. But justice delayed is justice denied. I think these people have been standing on the touchline for quite some time. And we as a union are starting to believe that people like General Pathan, why is he not in jail? Why is he not wearing an orange overall? By now, does it take 5 years for one to be convicted for the crime that people spoke of 5 years ago? Or he is just part of the program which people have initiated to make sure that he is not available when they are busy with this abuse of power, corruption, and maladministration. These issues, Steve, have removed people who have got capacity, people who understand the environment very well. But we are powerless. South Africans are powerless. The authorities are powerless because they are waiting for these allegations that are leveled against him and many others to be realized in court. But we are happy as an independent policing union of South Africa to state it today to you and your viewers that we have had an insight of the process that General Patani has decided to undertake. He has sent huge documents that deals with abuse, corruption, and maladministration to the Department, to the Public Protector, the Minister of Police, and even the current sitting National Commissioner of Police. He has also, wrote to the National Director of Public Prosecutions and made representations about the cases which he believes have been concocted against him. And one serious issue South Africans should note again this afternoon is that in 2018, there is a program that was registered against him by the then National Commissioner of Police and some of the cabals that are outside and some of them are still within the environment in order to make sure that he does not return within this environment. I think when the time is right, he will be able to address South Africans about it. Right. But the resources such as those ones which I have referred to, they are needed for South Africans. They are needed for the South African Police Service, because if we don't have them, South African Police Service will continue to fail South Africans and have en masse killings of peoples in a democratic and a constitutional state such as ours. This is a shame.
Mpho, we're going to have to leave it there. A lot more to talk about. Thank you. Mpho Kwinika is the General Secretary of the Independent Policing Union of South Africa. Well,